I remember this lady. She had the most creepiest laugh. And she had a baby doll.
Oh, no.
Yes. And laugh and just rock with the baby. And it was just, mind you, it was a butt naked baby. She, like, her hair. I'm like, can we comb this lady's hair, please?
Hey guys, welcome to Nurse Talk, the podcast where we talk all things nursing. I'm your host, Mia, and today we have Lysandra.
How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to see you. It has been 2 years.
Yes.
You look amazing.
Thank you. I was so excited when you reached out. I was like, there we go. Look at you doing great things. I love it.
You're doing great things too. You got your own business. Yes. We'll get into that, but we'll start with, why did you become a CNA?
I became a CNA because I just knew I wanted to do something with purpose. Before I was a CNA, I was in Boston doing runway shows and fashion shows and did New York Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. I did modeling for Banana Republic. Yeah, so I just felt like it became very an image. You had to look a certain way. You had to present yourself a certain way. And I got lost in that because I was really struggling with self-confidence. So I wanted to do something where I felt like I was doing more with a purpose. So then that's when I started looking into doing CNA.
Awesome. So can you provide a brief synopsis of what a CNA is?
Yes, a CNA is definitely more than a helper. Yes. I consider ourselves like the front line of the healthcare field because we provide like the patient care, like the daily patient care of vitals, walking, bathing, feeding, any type of patient care that they need constantly. I feel like we're always there.
Absolutely. How would you describe an average day for a CNA?
I thought that was so funny when you said average.
It's like every day is just like literally you have no idea what's going to happen.
You have no idea. Like as a CNA and as a nurse, you just don't know what you're going to expect that day. It can be a calm day. It can be a heavy day, a hectic day. It's like a full surprise. You don't know what you're going to get yourself into when you walk in.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about being a CNA?
The smiles. Like walking in and seeing people with smiles on their face, because there's a lot of heaviness when you walk into any kind of healthcare field.
Yeah.
People deal with their own personal things, but when you walk into a hospital, a long-term home, any kind of medical field, you can feel the heaviness that's within there. So whenever I seen a smile or was able to make someone smile, it really was so refreshing because it really just smiles really they rub off on people. Like someone's good mood, it just rubs off. And especially when someone has such a positive energy and they're like, hey, we're gonna have a good day, it's like, okay, we're gonna have a good day. But when that bad attitude just gets a hold, it really just lingers. So that was my best part, just walking in and seeing my teammates and my patients smile. Like that's what I aimed for, to make them happy and satisfied.
I 100% believe that because you were always so positive. Yeah. When I would see that you're working, I'm like, oh, thank gosh. Because you weren't the person that, like, you ask help for something. You weren't like, sure. You're always like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. And I love that about you. You were always so positive.
Yeah, I still try to. Yeah. I'm like, there's still so much goodness. And I try to put myself in people's shoes. Like, you don't know what they're dealing with. Like, put yourself in their shoes. And I just try to have more compassion and understanding. Even when someone took out their frustrations or their anger out on me, I have no clue what they're going through, right? And I think that we need to show people grace and mercy for what they're going through and their flaws, because we're all flawed. And one day we're going to need someone to give us that grace and mercy when we're not at our best. So
I know for a lot of them, it's like the worst days of their life.
Right.
And they might be like trying to hit you and punch you. But it's okay. They're at the lowest part of their life. Like, what do you expect, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's heartbreaking. Like, and it's definitely an eye opener when you start realizing like what life can be like for you. Like you don't know what the future holds for you. And to see so many different things, in 10 years, I've been exposed to so many different things. And you're just like, this could be a possibility. So I want to treat this person how I would want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like if I was ever in their shoes. And that's just how I always operated and moved. So I'm like, if you want an ice water, honey, I'm gonna go get you ice water. Like no matter how many times that you want it, something that was so simple that seems such an inconvenience for other people. It was like, if that's what you want, I'm gonna do that for you.
I know. I floated to a unit one time and it was a homeless person. And they gave me the patient, I guess, because she was so, obnoxious was their term. But all she wanted was a ginger ale, like a cold. And you know how small they are in the hospital?
Yes.
She just wanted a cold ginger ale and like a cookie or something. She wasn't there for diabetes. So I was like, I don't care. And she wanted one like every 30 minutes so people couldn't stand her. And I'm like, that's such an easy thing to make someone happy. So I just started putting them in my pocket and like, you don't have to call me every 30 minutes while I'm walking by because I'm going to walk by anyway. I'm just going to bring it to you. You don't even have to ask me. If that's what makes you happy.
You know how many times when I knew I had a homeless patient, how I took like the basin bins and just filled it up with ice. I was like, give me a list of what you want. A little bit of cranberry, a little bit of apple. I put graham crackers. Like I set them up their own thing because literally all they wanted to sleep and to eat and whatever medicine that you want to give them. So let me do my job. And that's all they wanted. And I set them a whole little bin for all the little treats in there. So if you ever in the future, I'm telling you, it's like,
can you bring me some chocolate milk?
Food to their soul. Food to their soul. They love it.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some obstacles you faced as a CNA?
Definitely short-staffed. Definitely short-staffed. If you were short-staffed, a nurse, if you were short-staffed, a PCT, the amount of load that you get to manage. Already what you get, I have an average of like 4 or 5 patients for a nurse, and then for a tech, all varies, like 8 to 16.
Oh my God.
Yes. So to think that you have to do 2-hour rounds on them and provide them all different cares, because some can walk to the bathroom, some cannot walk to the bathroom. So being short-staffed, definitely, but also when you wasn't paired up with the best nurse, when you knew that nurse didn't really value you, didn't really play as a team, because team player is so important in a medical field. When you have a nurse and a PCT that understand each other's roles and understand that we're each other's partners, and no one's in superior, and we're here for the best patient care. Like we should all be there to provide the best patient care that we, as a nurse and as a tech. So why would we not want to do that? And whenever I knew I had a good nurse, I just knew that the shift was gonna go perfect. And it always did. When I got paired with a nurse that didn't communicate, it was always very, very difficult. And it always kind of made it seem like I wasn't doing my job, or I didn't perform a certain way because of a nurse mistake. So
I think it's like a misconception that nurses have when they're in nursing school. It's like, oh, I'm an RN. I have a bachelor's degree. I don't wipe butt. Yeah, you do. When there's one tech for half the unit and it's just you, there's some people that need times 2 care quite often.
yes.
Who do you think is going to step in? It's you. It's your job.
Right.
It's your patient.
Right.
To make sure that they're clean. But I do want to say that a CNA is the same thing as a PCT. Yes. People might not understand that. Patient care technician and a CNA are very, very similar in their roles and what they can do. Yes. I wanted to just say that real quick.
And another obstacle is definitely the pay. As a single mom to 3, that's one of the reasons why I had to leave the healthcare field, because I had to work overnights just to reach 21 an hour. And that's still not including, obviously, the health insurance, the taxes, and things like that. So definitely just feeling overworked and having to put the healthcare field before my family. Like, honestly, when you sign up to be any type of PCT, CNA, any type of nurse, doctor, like you really have to realize You're putting your job first before your family most parts, especially hurricane seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Like
holidays.
Yes. Like I realized how much I missed out on my kids, like being at the hospital. And I loved it, but I realized how much it does burn you out. Putting a company, putting patients before your own family, and the pay not even being worth it. It's different when people say, I stay because of the money.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the money,
You can't pay your bills.
Yes.
And the hospital cannot function without you guys.
yes.
Like the hospital could not function without PCTs
Yes.
or CNAs, whatever you want to call it. Could not function.
yes.
You guys literally run the show.
Yes. Yes. So it was definitely difficult for me because then they offered like the overtime and the little gift
And you're like,
cards.
well, I won't struggle so much to pay my bills next week if I pick up this extra shift, but then now I haven't seen my kids in 4 days.
Yes. And in the hospital, you have to work. They say 7 to 7, 7 to 7. You do not stay for your 12-hour shift. You're there for 13, 14 hours. And God forbid something major happened on your shift. Then you're going to be there doing documents and further notes for longer. So it was definitely not being able to bring my kids to school, not being able to feed them dinner, doing homework and tuck them into bed. Like you're literally in the nursing field saying, here I am. How can I serve you? With nothing that I can even bear to take care of the family that I'm not even present taking care of.
Yeah.
And now that I own my own business, I'm like, this is what I've been missing out on. It's crazy. So I'm able to be a present mom now and be able to make my own money and still be able to succeed. So yeah.
You worked in rehab, nursing homes, and then did some home health.
Yes.
Which one did you prefer?
I think all of them had their pros and cons.
Yeah.
I think that long term really helped me build relationships with the patients, especially for the ones I didn't get visitors of families. You know, to pour love into them in that type of way was feeling like I definitely made a different impact. But it was also sad to see people just not being visited and loved on and cared for and given the bare minimum. As me working in a hospital, it was definitely an eye-opener for me to be more appreciative of life. You got to see people come and go, like the fast pace of things, but it definitely helped you not get attached to people. So I enjoy them all. They all taught me something definitely important. For me being in an oncology unit, I think they all played a part to mold me into the best PCT that I could be on oncology. But I definitely enjoyed oncology the most.
Yeah.
I have to say. I stayed on there for 5 years.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like unsafe doing home health? Because I'm terrified to do home health. Genuinely, I am. I don't know why, but it's scary.
Yeah. Home health, you do get more of the freedom, I guess you would say, to like they give you like a paper and it tells you what meds they are and their daily care. And even though it wasn't me giving them their meds, I still had to make sure I was present there, that they took their meds.
Okay.
And not only that, it's just me and the patient. So like anything can be said, anything can be, misunderstood. So definitely, risk of that in that type of area. But I also love just genuinely taking care of their home.
Yeah.
I did. And that's what kind of got me into my business now. But I loved what I did in the home health because you got to play games. You got to make sure they were living in a safe environment. And I realized that working in a hospital, people just sent people home, not really caring about what type of living environment or where they were going. Especially for homeless people, it's like you just bringing them back out on the street. And it's so mind-blowing to me that, all right, this is what we do in this job, but we don't care about anything like outside of this. So being a home health aide allowed me to be present in like both areas. So making sure they had a clean, disinfecting environment, making sure they had things like if they in their bathroom, making sure they had like a rail advocating for them if they needed those things, looking on Marketplace or anything that they needed, like to make sure that they have that in case financially they couldn't. So just being more more intentional while being there. I didn't feel as unsafe as I thought I would doing home health aid.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably collected quite a few memorable stories, home health, nursing home. Do you want to share any?
Oh, yeah. So when I first started becoming a CNA, I had to do orientation, but you have to do orientation to different shifts. And at that time, I was doing orientation in a long-term home, but they also had dementia and Alzheimer patients on the other side. So you had to have access to be able to get to the Alzheimer's dementia side because it was locked, it was secured. So I was orientating during the day shift and long term, but of course they wanted for me to do orientation on dementia at a night shift.
Oh, nice.
And if anyone knows,
Yeah.
sundown and wild time is about to awaken. And I remember this lady, she had the most creepiest laugh. And she had a baby doll.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So my whole shift, I literally felt like I felt like I was just so uncomfortable. The whole shift. She wasn't harmful.
Yeah.
Right. But they allowed her to roam and do her own thing because then if you touched her, then she could be combative. So as long as she didn't bother anyone all night long, you just heard this little creepy laugh with this baby. And let me tell you, that was my last and final time ever on that unit. I said, please don't ever in my life put
That
me
would
in the unit.
freak me out.
Yes. And she'll come sit next to me because she wasn't vocal. All she did was laugh. And she would vocal and laugh and just rock with the baby. And it was just, mind you, it was a butt naked baby. She like her hair. I'm like, can we comb this lady's hair, please? But yeah, it definitely was one of the most uncomfortable. But it was also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
How our mind just really disconnects and we end up becoming and just changing and having no self-control over our bodies and who we're going to become at that age. It's really
terrifying.
It is.
Because you're like, I could end up being that creepy lady.
Yes. I'm always on puzzles. I'm always like, please. Like they say like puzzles and anything that keeps your mind from getting dementia. So yeah, we do a puzzle month in my house. I'm like, please. Because in my family, we suffer from dementia.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah, my family has it too.
Yeah. So
I'm like,
fighting everything to challenge the mind here. Another story. I don't think I have any specific stories, but definitely something that always traumatized me in general is pressure ulcers. Seeing them, especially in nursing homes, I feel like even when we received a patient in the hospital from a nursing home, you can just tell the difference in the pressure ulcers. They're much more larger, right? They're much more on certain body points that are you can just tell they're not being turned. They're not being loved on. They're not being cared for. And that also comes from being short-staffed, from CNAs not feeling appreciated, not having a proper nurse to work beside them. Because when I worked in a nursing home, there was only 1 or 2 nurses there. So, in the hospital, we have a few nurses, but in a nursing home, it was always 1 or 4. So if you have one tech and 1 nurse, and you have all these patients that are bedbound, how you expect them to be turned and changed every 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So it was very eye-opening and heartbreaking, and it light a fire for me to even more want to be as the best CNA, PCT as I can be, and just to strive to do the best care that I can on my end. But the most defeating thing is knowing that one person and only a few days of love and tenderness cannot do so much.
Yeah.
Because people, when they go home or when they go back to nursing home, it's like you have no control of what is going on out there. So definitely the pressure ulcers definitely broke my heart every single time. It's definitely something that holds heavy, like visual in my heart when I think about my past with in the healthcare field. It does break my heart because as a CNA, our job is to tend to our patients, to care, to love them, and to make sure they have the best care that they have, being bathed, being turned, being clean. So the fact that those patients didn't get treated that way, it's definitely weighs heavy on my heart still.
Yeah.
And I have no control over it.
Yeah, it's I think the problem is like it just starts at the top where they don't want to pay nurses and
Yeah.
CNAs to be there, so
Yes.
they do the bare minimum.
Yes.
Which is crazy that, you know, by law that they can even get away with that in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's like if you only have one nurse and like 2 CNAs for 40 patients and one thing goes wrong that day,
Right.
you're not going to turn 40 patients every 2 hours.
Right.
All you need is one patient to need more attention than everyone else, which is going to happen.
It's going
There's
to
going to be
happen.
falls, there's going to be incidents, and
Yes.
it takes one
Yes.
to ruin your day where everyone else isn't getting any attention because there's only, what, 2 people?
Yes. Talk about average. There's no average. You don't know what you're going to expect.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't notice that I like put it that way, but it is so true that you point that out.
Yes.
Like there, even as a nurse, like there's not a single, I mean, you have like, you're like, okay, we try to do vitals at 8 and like 12 and 4, blah, blah, blah. But like half the time the vitals don't even get done when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because it's like someone's screaming, someone's
Yes.
falling, you know?
Yes. You're lucky if you have like a 3 in a row and you have 3 same patients.
Yes.
Like that's a steal. You're like, what? I have the easiest patients. Like you're lucky if you just kind of know the rodeo of that day.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like everything happens on like shift change.
Yes.
Which always ruins like the
Yes.
beginning of your shift.
Yes. I feel like the patients know. They know when you're distracted.
Well, yeah, I think they're like, no one's paying attention to me.
Let me
Let's
get
fall
in
in
the
the shower. So what made you change from like rehab, home health to oncology med surge?
So the reason why I really got into CNA is not only because I wanted to do something more with my life, kind of something in my past weighed heavy on me. My grandmother died from liver cancer. She died in my mom's home. And I was in college in Boston. So you can see where I was doing the modeling and things like that. And I wasn't really present there with my grandma. I think I was more in denial.
Yeah.
I was like, she can overcome it. And she had stage 4 cancer. And my mom kept telling me, hey, come home, come home. But I was just trying to tuck it away. I didn't want to be there.
It's
At 18,
avoidance.
yes.
It's avoidance. I mean, that's how a lot of people deal with things.
Yeah, and I didn't realize like that's what I was doing. And I remember just sitting with the regret of just not having that time spent with her when she was going through her oral chemo and even in the hospital was going through her chemo. And I have some moments of when I was there, but they were just very one day, very 2 days, but I could have been there more. And I wanted to heal in a different way.
Oh, you made me cry.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I wanted to heal in a proper way. And that's what led me to oncology. So I can really understand like what she was going through. And I can live through what I should have loved her
Yeah.
into other oncology patients. So
It's a way to give back.
yes, absolutely. And it definitely did provide me the healing that I needed. And moments of where I just replayed moments and just kind of like allowed myself to memorize me being there for her in a way that I realized I should have. Because oncology patients, they need a different type of love and care.
Yeah.
They
need
do.
absolute undivided attention a lot of the times.
Yes, yes. And you don't realize how much like you're the light in their day. Like whoever walks in that door, doctors, they come and they go. Like they don't, sometimes my patient would tell me, like I didn't even get to ask them questions because they were just so quick to come in and out. I'm just another number. I'm another patient. And I always tell people as a CNA, a PCT, like you're literally the light. You're there to comfort them. You're there to hold their hand. Sometimes a listening ear, a hug does more than a medicine for them. Like they're really dealing with something heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Not only is it a sickness, but imagine someone telling you, hey,
you have stage 4, and I think, or stage 3 or 2, whatever it is, and we need to get you on chemotherapy. You're like, I went from a pain to finding out I have cancer, and you have kids at home, you have a husband, you have dreams that you just started planting, and you have all these emotions and thoughts. So it's just really nice to just be there for them in those ways that I
You get me emotional. I have to cry right now because it's so true. Because I remember, like, you know, I was there for 2 years, and of course, I witnessed a lot. And there are some faces that I just can't remove from my brain. And it's like the moments where, like, you walk in the room and they're like, the nurse never came in. They never gave me my pain meds. They didn't even look at me. They didn't even talk to me. And I'm just so upset. So then, you know, you spend the first hour trying to calm them down and like, I'm here for you. I'm going to, by the minute, I will make sure you have your pain meds, like trying to be there for them while like there's a circus outside of the room. And like, there's an emergency. I'm calling stat team on this patient in here, but this patient needs me on such a intimate level to just look at them and understand, like, I know you have stage 4 brain cancer and someone didn't treat you right. And you have to just like stop everything in your tracks because there is no appropriate way to be like, I don't have time for this. There is no way. There is no, so you have to stop and like your phone's going off and you're just like, I hear you. And now I'm going to make it right today.
But let's talk about how oncology is not just oncology, how we have med surg in the mix in it. Like, we should have been dealing with just oncology patients.
Yeah, like, it's not appropriate that we just get, like, an overflow of patients. One, for the safety of the oncology patients. You're sending us COVID patients on an oncology floor? Inappropriate. And then everything else that could be infectious. You know, you don't need an oncology patient catching C. diff. I wish they could go to a different floor so that these cancer patients who are going through the most devastating moment in their life could just have my undivided attention. Because it's so intense. Like, experiencing when people find out, it's not often that you're there at the exact moment that they get the news, or the diagnosis, I should say. And I remember this one lady, I would say she was probably like 25, 26, and she had a 4-year-old. And she just found out that she had stage 4 cancer, and she wasn't even my patient. I was calling stat team on someone else's patient. I had 6 patients of my own.
Wow.
And then I walk in, and she just found out, and I was the first person to walk in because she was, I can't breathe, screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. So I go in there. I have to call stat team because on her. So I call stat team on 2 patients that aren't even mine. I have 6 of my own. But how can you walk by and not?
How did you manage that? You were just like on fight mode.
Yeah, like fight or flight. Like I remember when I used to walk on the oncology unit, in my mind, I would like visualize I'm putting armor on. I'm like, I can do anything for 14 hours.
Amen.
And, like, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And I would just go. And sometimes I would cry on my way to work because I was like, this is so much. And I just like, she was like, oh my God, I can't breathe, screaming, crying. And she's like, and I just got on my knees and looked at her in the eyes, and I'm like, I understand why you're upset. Like, let it out. It's okay. I'm just going to make sure you're okay. I'm just going to call a couple people to make sure, like, because you're saying you have chest pain, which I understand is most likely anxiety, but who am I to, like, we need to make sure, like, you know, so I'm trying to call him, like, and she's like, she looks at me in my eyes so deeply, and she's like, who's going to take care of my baby? And I started crying. She was crying.
Right.
I didn't leave the room for like 30 something minutes. And I just felt that tore me up for weeks. I just couldn't, I had to get therapy after that because I was like, I can't. That's just one little snippet. That's not even my patient.
Right.
Snippet of what it was like working on the oncology unit.
And I loved how you said, like, you literally visualize armor. God tells you you need to put the armor of God on, your sword, your belt, like your boots, like, and that's when when I talked about the heaviness of the healthcare field, you're dealing with more than just what we think in the physical. We're dealing with a spiritual battle, like these sickness, fear, anxiety, worry.
it's a much deeper thing. So when you're putting on your armor, you are literally saying, I am the light, right? And I'm
Yeah.
putting on my armor, and I'm going do my best for the 14 hours to pour love into them, compassion into them, and just play my part the best that I can, because it is a war. It is absolutely a war.
And it was so upsetting to see the people that got like, when they became jaded, they didn't leave. Because I didn't become jaded. I from the moment I left there, I gave my all, but I knew that I was on the brink. Like I was like, I cannot do this anymore. So I left. But it was really, really frustrating to see the people who should have left years ago.
Yes.
Sometimes there are units and fields that are a short stay for people. Like the heaviness, the mental load, you don't belong there for 20 years, and that's okay. Some people do. Some people, I can think of a couple people that were just absolutely amazing at what they did. But there were a couple people where I'm like, why don't you leave?
Yeah.
And I remember asking someone that, why don't you leave if you hate it so much? Oh, I don't like change. Don't work on oncology unit if you don't like it. If you can't give everything, don't come.
Yes.
Literally, I would have to come after nurses. It was so frustrating. I would have to come after them, and I'm like, okay, you haven't been listened to. No one's done this. You're so upset about X, Y, and Z. I would literally write a list down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to solve all the problems that have been happening the last 4 days while I'm here. And it's like my mission. Like, I don't care if it kills me. I don't care if I get a lunch break. I don't care if I don't pee for 14 hours. I got so many UTIs. But I would walk in the room and I'd just say, okay, you're so upset. Why?
Right.
Make me a list.
Right.
Write it down. Give it to me. And I'm going to try and figure out
Yeah.
who I got to call, you know?
And not a lot of nurses have that type of heart, Mia. Like, you have
No.
such a loving,
Thank you.
selfless heart. And that is so beautiful. And
Thank
I
you.
know that that moment that you had with them definitely makes an impact on them.
And I remember working with you. I remember working with Yolanda. And like, there's some CNAs that like, I know that the patients are benefiting from having you. And it's such a blessing because I could not do my job.
Yes.
None of us could do our job without you guys.
Especially when you're like, hey, I know we have Q2, like, 2-hour rounding at this time, but I can give their Madge an hour earlier to match it. Do you want to meet at this time? So we can
Yes.
bang it out. Like, I love the communication when you have a nurse that respects you, and it's like, because the worst part is when a nurse goes to give a med, and then I come in shortly after to do vitals, and then a doctor comes to do an EEG, and then all they're trying to do is take a nap. And they can't. Instead of being like, hey, let's communicate as much as we can to do cluster care, because it benefits for the nurse, the CNA, and the patient.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have any memories from working on oncology?
Yes, I do. I have precious moments in oncology. I remember I had this patient one time, and then she came back like 2 years later. Cancer came back again, and her face just like literally lit up. And I didn't recognize her because cancer really does change people and their appearance. And once we started talking, I started remembering. And her light was just very organic. It was very comforting in a way. And she was there for a while doing chemo treatments. And she just always expressed to me, and I remember she wrote me a card, and she was just expressing how I'm an angel in disguise. And she was just so precious. And we ended up building a good bond. She did leave to go to hospice. And I did get in communication with the family. But when she went to hospice, I went to tend to her when she ended up being not vocal. And I remember one time I was like, did anyone ever like turn her? She's been flat on her back for a while. And I remember when I turned her, she had that pressure ulcer that started forming. And I remember I said, I'm going to just bathe her. I'm going to change her. I'm going to love on her. And I remember when I turned her, and I'm not sure if you know this about the last moments of life, but when I turned her to clean her up, when I turned back, she bled a little bit from her mouth. and I freaked out. I thought it was something that I did.
Yeah.
My intention was to love on her,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
get her comfortable. And I felt like I harmed her. And the nurse came in. She said, that's just a sign, things like that. And moments later, when I left, she did pass. She did pass away. But when I thought about her passing, I thought about all the beautiful things, like the stories she shared with me on the oncology unit. She had such a servant heart. And when I thought about the heart that she had, it reminded me the heart that I wanted to have. And when I realize now in my life, I feel like God used those 10 years to make a servant heart for the goodness of him right now. Because when you walk in, when you put on your armor, you are absolutely, you're serving.
Yeah.
Despite if they want to scratch you, bite you, like you have to still love them, respect them, and treat them to their care, regardless of how they treat you. That's a serving heart.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that people don't realize that if you do not have a serving, selfless heart, this role is not, healthcare is not for you. But that always stuck with me, to have a serving heart, because she talked about how she would go to the food pantries and collect all the food, and she had a garden and, you know, cows, and they would butcher them. And she would fill up her truck every Saturday, and all the people would just come and grab groceries. And she did it for service back to a point where she was homeless and she didn't have anything. So she just impacted me in such a way that we just always stayed in communication. She always generally asked about me and my kids, but most of all, like her life and the stories she shared. And it really inspired me to have that type of heart. And my dream is to have a garden, some land, a farm, and to give back to the world one day. So the same thing that she spoke, and it really touched my heart, I kind of want to live it through.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much of a connection
Yeah.
you can have with a patient. They're just, yeah.
I think about her and I'm like, it's when in oncology, when a lot of people die, they die with a lot of bitterness, anger. You see people that don't visit them, right? And I think sometimes we're so focused on saving someone's physical, but we don't care about anyone's soul, anyone's spirit, what weighs heavy on their hearts, right? So the fact that I got to sit there and just hear these things and just be a witness of a heart that still loved and still cared despite of what was going on in her circumstances. She still had joy, a smile, and it's really inspiring to just know that despite what you're going through, there's so much light ahead, and you can still find joy. God says, put the garment of joy on. Happiness is based on circumstances, right? About what fruit you're benefiting from. But when you put on joy, it's like I have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's going good for me. But I'm going to choose to put on this garment of joy. I'm going to rejoice in the day that was given to me. And I'm just going to do the best what I can with the cards that are given to me. And with her, she just touched so many different areas of my life. And I will always remember her. And I have a picture of us together on my phone, and the memories always pop up.
Patients can give you such perspective.
Yes.
Like that you just wouldn't get anywhere else.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So sweet.
Is there a time that you felt unsafe in your role as a CNA?
Yes, absolutely. When we're short-staffed and I have to take care of a patient that needs 2 or more people, and I have to constantly try to move them myself, obviously I'm putting the patient in danger. I'm also putting myself in danger. Even though we are taught body mechanics and how to roll and turn a patient and all these things. But then also, if a patient has a pressure ulcer and they're soiled, and we're not supposed to change the bandage, but we can't leave the bandage because it's soiled, when it's me and the nurse's job to be in the Q2 turns and making sure that we're changing the bandage, especially when they're soiled.
Yeah.
And then them just telling me, oh, it's okay, you could just do it. It's just a bandage. And I'm like, I got to sign it. So who's signing it? Who's signing the bandage? Like I'm not putting your signature, your initials.
You didn't do it?
So it was definitely just the nurses understanding, just because I had knowledge
we was being taught how to do catheter care. So I was doing catheter cares and things like that. But before that, you know, nurses all the time try to, oh, you did a bladder scan? Oh, do you mind just doing it? And I'm like, I'm not certified yet. Yes, I'm doing the courses, and yes, I know how to do them, but I can't do them.
Legally,
So,
I cannot do them. If
yeah.
someone were to come in here and look
Yeah.
and actually pay attention,
Yeah.
which they probably won't, but if they did,
yeah.
I'd get in trouble.
Yeah. So many times you're put in a position where nurses are, you know, their hands deep in something else. We're short staff. I don't have a nurse. Can't leave them soiled, laying on their thing. They've already been on the call light for who knows how long because I'm been down in the shower room.
Oh my God.
So it's
Seriously. No,
Yes.
yeah. This is what it's like.
And it's half the floor is for risk. At that.
Oh, minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum half.
Yeah. Like, matter of fact, everyone becomes some type of fall risk on our floor.
Literally, I don't think there is.
Moderate,
Yeah.
high, right?
Low. Okay.
So it was definitely a lot. And half the time, I don't know about you, I felt like those floor mats were a high risk. You know how many times I tripped over them?
Yeah.
Especially during night shift.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly. I'm like, where's the night lights?
I know. Generally, the patients who are immobile are a lot bigger than you are.
Yes.
And you're like
Actually,
trying to move a whole patient. It's funny when you get like a really tiny patient and you have two people in there. So you're like, oh, I need a boost. And then like you boost them way past where you're like, I'm sorry, I'm used to boosting like 200 something pound patients, which is fine.
Yes.
But yeah, so.
Yes, when you put full strength that the sheet goes past the back.
I've honestly hit someone's head on the.
Yes, I have so many times. I'm like, ooh, strong muscles.
Sorry. Especially like when you're like have an injury and you're trying to baby your injury, but then you go to work and it's like, there's no way. Like I remember I got a neck injury and you try to say like, oh, you know, maybe if you can get like another like tech to help you boost this patient, blah, blah, blah. That tech is doing something else.
Yes.
You have to just literally with a neck injury, just start lifting 300-pound patients.
I know.
Or you're going to leave them there. You're going to leave them
Yes.
there? Oh, wait, no. You should actually wait for lift team. That'll come in an hour.
Yes. To the point that us CNAs have to go and chase down the Hoyer lifts. Like I remember they leave them at the bottom. They used to leave them at the bottom of the halls, right? And imagine this big old machine in a 2-patient room. You gotta lift up the floor mats, and that takes time. So if we have other call lights, and they're telling us, you know, things. And no offense, the nurses be like, I'm charting. You can go get that water. While I'm literally with a Hoyer lift trying to take care of a bedbound patient.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so overwhelming when you have to prep the room for the Hoyer lift.
Don't get the Hoyer lift.
Right. And you got to put the lift underneath the patient. It's just, yeah.
It's
a lot.
much.
It's
like,
so much.
I'm kind of getting like a little PTSD. Because I don't really talk, because I work with babies now, so none of this is even a factor.
Yes.
And it's all coming back to me.
Yes,
I'm like,
no offense, when you wrote me all these questions, I had to think hard. It's to the point that so I have like a trauma response where I decompress things. Mm-hmm. So when you started asking me questions, that's why you're like, anything else? I'm like, I don't want to. I do not want to remember those things because I literally had to learn to tuck those things aside because the burden I felt leaving, I had to understand with one person, I can only do so much.
yeah.
And it felt like I've taken the little light that I had to be there in a dark space. I was taking it away. But I knew I needed to be there present with my kids. I knew that there was so much more to life than that sadness that was weighing so heavy on my life. I'm like, God, you don't want this for me. Like, I understand that this was amazing perspective, something I had to go through to learn. I receive it. I thank it, and now I'm ready to move on.
There's a little bit of, at least for me, did you feel guilty in that moment?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I felt guilty for putting me and my family first. And that's when I started realizing how much being there and like the 5 years there, but in 10 years in general, of how much self I gave. My cup was empty.
Yeah.
I had to really learn to rebuild, to pour into my cup, to learn how to pour into my kids. But I left there feeling still guilty. I felt like the little cup, nothing that I had in that cup, I still felt like I had something to pour there. But I just knew there was nothing there left.
What are some misconceptions that people have of CNAs?
We're not just helpers. We're vital. We're very important.
We don't function without you.
Yeah. Like the same
all.
way I couldn't function without a nurse.
Yeah.
Or another team player. Like we're needed. We're definitely needed.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Okay, so overall, how would you describe like the culture or like nature between CNAs and nurses?
There's definitely no superior. I feel like when we have like a mutual respect for one another, understand our roles and work as partners, I feel like the shift is smooth. The patient gets the most perfect, attention that they need. The shift runs so much smoother.
Yes.
So I definitely feel like even as nurse and doctors, you don't want to feel like, oh, you're a doctor, you think you're superior than me. No. And then same thing when it comes to a nurse and a PCT and so forth, like the chain ladder. If any of us are beneath the next platform, we feel like we're not worthy, we're not important, we're not heard, and we're not seen. And I think if we tuck those thoughts away and just really just been like, hey, our job here is to take care of these patients the best way we can for the shift that we have. Let's work together, bang it out. I think that life would be so much easier.
Absolutely. And it's like every single role is important, whether you think it is or not. Have you ever had a shift where EVS was short-staffed and they didn't come to your floor? That was a horrible shift because every single room is nutso. Everything's hanging on the floor. It looks horrible in there. And you're like, and I feel like that's the only time people actually take a moment to be like, oh my God, EVS is important.
Yeah.
Absolutely they are. Are you kidding me? Or the people who bring the food trays. Do you think that if we had to, every single meal, go down to the cafeteria, go grab all the meals and then give them out? Our days are crazy even now, let alone doing that. Every single person that walks on that unit is important.
Yes. Yeah. It's
Respect
like,
to all.
Yes, absolutely. I always make sure I look at people for who they are, not their roles in anything, because it's really not about the title. I think so many people like chase a certain title, and it's like, no, we're all here chasing the same thing to get through life, to be happy, to be successful, to have joy in our life, not to be putting each other down. And I felt like that's what it was like. Very like I felt like that. I felt like as a CNA, like I wasn't important. Or like, you've been a CNA for how long? Why you're not doing something else? And I'm like, because I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm a CNA doesn't mean that I have dreams to be a nurse, which I did.
We'll get into that. Yeah. So what are some things that nurses can improve on?
Communication. Definitely communication. If you communicate with your team, things work so much smoother. And as a team lead, nurses usually get that position, like as a team lead. And not once did we ever do huddle and not anyone say anything positive. We just went over the huddle like, this is what we got going on today. This is what happened, whatever. It wasn't like, hey, guys, I know we're all fighting something, outside these doors. Let's take a breather.
Yeah.
Let's breathe together. Let's release it right now. Right now, we're in a battlefield right now. These patients need us. And we got this. Let's work as a team together. Mia, what do you need from me today? Who's your tech? You guys get together. Make sure you guys got everything aligned. If communication and a proper words of encouragement, like some type of comfort of feeling heard, feeling like I have someone I can go to that can be like, hey, breathe, we got this. Because that's what it is. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
To be in that type of field, it's not for the weak.
No.
It's not for the weak. So I think that if you learn to communicate and just tell me what you need. Every nurse has a different need.
Yeah.
So it's important for me to get with every single one of my nurses and be like, how can I help you today?
Oh, yeah. I think if I were to ever go back to any adult med-surg unit, I think I would try to incorporate that more. I think I communicated what I needed, but had I taken like 5 minutes at the very beginning of my shift and been like, hey, this patient is going to be our hard one today.
Yeah.
Please let me know when you need me.
Yeah.
But that one's going to be so heavy. You focus on that one and I'll try to get the rest.
Yes, yes.
Just having like a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
Because I think it was so, obviously, like we stated previously, average day
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Right.
So having that moment of like, all right, this is going to be our number one battle for the day.
Right.
Let's like plan around it.
Yeah.
I never did that.
No?
But
I was a nurse.
I was a brand new nurse. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was like how I started. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what did I get
They
into?
threw you to the
And then,
wall.
no, in the middle of COVID, that was rough.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think now with the perspective that I have and, you know, being a nurse for like, I think it's going to be about 5 years. I think now, and now that you said that, I kind of reflected. I'm like, I never did have like just a little pre-shift meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I should have.
It works.
Yeah,
great.
it does.
Yes. And then you kind of know, like, okay, I know Mia, even though that's not my patient, because, you know, sometimes you kind of like have a different set across the hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, she did mention that that was going to be her crazy patient. This patient needs something, so let me go find another nurse that can take that off Mia's plate because she did vocalize that she's going to be in that room.
Yeah.
You see how if that communication, that huddle between your CNAs will work? It does wonders. And we look out. Yeah. If you have a good CNA, if you have a good PCT, we look out. We do.
100%. Yeah, it makes, that's why they're so vital, is like if they're good, it can change your whole day.
Yes.
If they're bad, woo!
Yes.
Your horrible day just got a lot worse.
Right. Absolutely. Especially if it's not like an essential med. Like I'll go in there and be like, what's your pain level? Like, is it essential right now? Because we're dealing with something right now. I can go find someone, but it is going to take a few minutes. Like, you're able to advocate for your nurse and kind of cool your patient down a little bit.
Yeah, like she's in the room doing a code blue. Like,
you know. So when
we're thinking about you, but we can't be right here right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So when you sign up to be a nurse, you are a butt wiper too. Definitely. Yes.
Love that, because yes, you are.
Yes.
You will absolutely wipe butt.
Yeah. And I had a nurse one time tell me, like, I didn't know I was signing up for this. And I'm like, oh, what did you mean? And I remember they were gagging their first try with me. And it was a blowout. I'm not even gonna lie.
She got thrown to the wolves.
She did. I was like, wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, honey. Like, I'm like, go put the mask and the toothpaste and I'll hold it right here for you.
It was funny because like on my very, very, very first clinical, like the first time I ever walked into something, you know, I'm following the nurse and it's in a long-term care facility. The nurse was like, we're going to give a bed bath. I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I've never experienced anything.
Yeah.
Walk in, the patient's like 500 pounds, easy 500 pounds, probably 600. Had a special, you know,
So you got
bariatric
some roll.
bed. Oh. And I remember I had the basin. It was like a bed bath, of course. And I just remember being like, and he's like, I need you to grab her breasts. So I'm in there like holding a whole boob up. He's getting in the mix. I'm like, oh my God. And then we take the socks off. Oh, you know, the sock. And it's like,
Yeah.
and you can see all the skin flakes in the water. And I'm just having a moment here. I'm just like, oh no.
Yes.
You know the song, oh no,
Yes.
no. I'm like, oh. And I walk out of there, I'm like, oh, what did I just do? What am I doing? I was like in one of the first like quarters of, you know.
That kind of like brought back a memory of one of the oncology units of when we got a patient and he smelled absolutely terrible. He smelled absolutely terrible, but he had layers of clothes on. And you know, this is another moment that team play was amazing that day. I don't remember much about why he came in, but I knew everyone was very aware that he was
there.
coming.
Okay.
And that we needed to all be hands on. So when we got a whiff of his smell, we just knew we had to gown up, get soap basins, that we was all gonna be in there. But your story reminded me of, I remember when we started stripping his clothes off. Not only was it filled with urine and feces, but we started seeing the pressure ulcers, of course, but the socks were stuck to his skin. So when we were trying to remove the sock, we had to wet it.
and try to get it to soften up. I don't know if it was just like over hard skin, but then he ended up started getting ulcers on the bottom of his heels. So you can tell he hasn't been changed in a very, very long time, that he was just sitting in all that soil. But yeah, the sock in the skin blowing and the smells, girl. Ooh.
And it was such a crazy day because our clinical instructor was she's really cool. So she'd be like, this is your guys' first time. We're gonna do this for a couple hours, and then we're gonna do some like homework and go over some things on your like first test or whatever. So we're like, okay, cool. And so it wasn't a long experience, but it was an intense one because we walked right out of that room. We walked directly into a dementia patient who was very aggressive. But it was confusing because we walked in, and this was again my very first, time experiencing it. And we walk in, and she's like, the patient is like, "Hey, baby," like so sweet, like, "How is your day going?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, I like her," I walked in, and we start to clean her up, and she looks at us, and she's like, "Don't you beep, 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 touch me." We tried to like get her out of the bed, and she was like trying to punch me, trying to kick me. She was like, "F you and your mama too," like the craziest stuff. And again, so I'm like in the corner, like,
yeah.
Oh my God. And that was my very first experience. I called my mama on the way home. I don't know what to do. I said, "What am I doing?"
But they legit showed you, like, off rip, like the crazy possibilities, which is thrown to the wolves. That's how you learn. Like, are you built for this or not? That's wild.
And I called my mom and I said, "I don't know." She's like, "It's okay. It won't always be like that. There's certain things that you can do that you won't experience that in. Like, you're gonna be all right." And I was like, "Okay."
Thank God, Mama, right?
And I was like, "Well, screw it. I'm already a quarter to it, and I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah.
So you figure it out. But yeah, that poor guy, he probably had such an altered mental status to come in with like socks that are like literally growing in his skin.
Yes. And I remember they were black. I remember the colors of his clothes and everything. It was very heartbreaking. And the stench that was on you can just tell
He needed like full-time care.
Yeah. And even after cleaning him, like, girl, we were cleaning him and getting him a gown, like the smell still lingered. But he didn't speak. He didn't complain. He didn't moan. Nothing. He just stayed shut the whole time.
That's so sad. Ugh.
Yes.
Oh, man, the healthcare world will really give you like...
Yes.
Get yourself together because it ain't that bad.
It can build you or destroy you.
Yeah.
Literally. It can. Depending on how long you've been in there, what you've seen, and definitely not. It's not for the weak. I keep saying that.
As someone who worked closely with nurses, did you ever consider becoming one?
Yes, I did. And then lovely COVID happened.
Yeah.
Yes. So at that time, I was a parent of 3. So we had to homeschool our children at that time. So working overnights, coming home to straight homeschooling.
Oh my God.
Right? And only getting like 2-3 hours of sleep to be present back at work. It was no space for me to even continue at that point and at that time. And then during COVID was a big eye-opener as it not being the role for me at all. But for a while, yes, it was. But I think the scare as a parent of already putting my job first, and then having to put school first, I felt like, could I really bear that? And I felt I had to start asking myself questions like, why do I want to be a nurse? Do I want it for the money, what it looks like? Like, what are my real intentions of doing it? Like, why do I want to become a CNA to a nurse? Like, what's the difference that I want to do? And it was just like, I don't know, more money. That's all I could think about at that time. So then it was just a pause after COVID. And then after that, it just kind of led to my heart not desiring it anymore.
Yeah. Because you see it so closely, like what they go through.
Yes.
And you're like, maybe not.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you have your job and then you would have like a million other things that you'd have to add on top of your job. And it's like,
And I knew everyone said that I will make a great nurse because of a PCT.
100%.
But then that's the thing. I would have overloaded myself as a nurse
by taking on my PCT job. Like, it's just instilled in me. I would have thought I could do the CNA
and the nurse's job.
Yeah, and the nurse's job.
Like, I don't need anyone. I can do it all myself, and it's impossible.
And it's impossible, but I would have burnt myself out. Like, I already visualized it. I'm like, if I'm burnt out now,
imagine literally everyone calling you and then, like, all the meds and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And not only that too, like, to switch myself and put in a nurse and to put myself in a nurse position, sometimes CNAs don't always present themselves as presentable. I feel like some CNAs show that they don't want to work, show they don't care to work. And when a nurse does want to ask for help, they kind of don't want to ask for that CNA that they're paired up with, because they're probably going to give them an attitude, not do the job right, or be hiding.
yeah, I will say that I have had some really bad experiences with CNAs where it's like, I'm only one person. It's horrible when, like, that's your go-to person to help you and you're, like, fighting yourself, trying to do it all yourself, because you know that person's going to be like, oh, okay, like, and talk crap and, like, make a whole scene. Or how, you know, someone has told management 3 or 4 times that this person disappears for 3 hours and management just doesn't do anything about it. And
right. Like, why would you not, if you're going to pay someone, why would you not want to pay people to do their job right? To run the floor more smoothly.
There was a PCT on nights, and you probably worked with that person quite a bit, that would, like, go to their car.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. For like 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you handle that and not freak out? Or did you?
I think I did freak out most times, but I started just being like, before you leave, you have to make, like, what's your floor looking like? Like, I'm the type that I'm going to tell you straight up, like, you're not going to leave me your mess.
Yeah,
so if you want to leave, make sure your stuff is done. Point blank and period. Do not leave me. And when they come back, you are going to hear it from me in the most loving and kindful way. So I can't control what other people do, right? But definitely you have to ask, you know, you have to let your team know that you're going on a break. You're supposed to tell your team you're going on a break, right? So when they used to ask me to go on a break, I used to be like, you know, you did your vitals. Like, what time is it? Because, you know, in 30 minutes, that round up, like, I was on top of it. Like, with me, I have to make sure that everyone was kind of like on board. Like, I was the one going to my nurses and having the little huddles and being able to be like, hey, how can I help you today? So the same thing happened with my CNAs. It's like, I know what you're up to. I know you already. So now I just kind of like, I worked around them, if that makes sense. But yeah, unexpected things happen, of course, when people are gone, and you just do what you can do.
That must have been so frustrating, though.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Absolutely.
Because you do, like, go above and beyond, and you make the same pay, if not less, if that person's been there longer, for them to, like, do nothing, give everyone attitude, and then disappear for 2 hours. Yes. And then the managers are like, oh.
Yes. And let's talk about, like, the 3%. Like, why are you giving us 3%, if that, of our raise at the end? Like, why is it not just like, here's a $1 raise, here's a $2 raise? Like, as long as I worked there, I've never made a $1 raise. I mean, yeah, I did make a $1 raise, but on my annual thing, the 3%.
Here's 70 cents. Not even. One time I made 40 cents. I was like, y'all can keep that. Like, leave me alone. You called me in the office, wasting my time.
For real.
No, like, I got substitute. You're calling me in to tell me you're giving me 35 cents.
Yeah, congratulations. You got your full 3% raise. Like, wow, thank you so much. And in fact, I have to do more courses to get more money. Like, you know, to do the catheter care and to draw blood work. It's like, now you have to take time to come to the building, right? Just so you have to arrive like 30 minutes. You got to park in a huge garage and then, you know, the travel and all that things. But I'm like, by the time that happens, I'm like, I just wasted so much time just to sit here to try to get a certificate to get like $1 or $2 more.
That's if that. Yeah. They have, did they have clinical ladders for PCTs?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So they have it for us, and I still haven't done it because I'm like, you want me to invest a lot of time, like a lot of time to get $2.
Yeah. And then they make it seem like you're not doing your job if you don't participate in these things.
Exactly.
I'm like, why are you trying to make me feel like I'm not doing my job already because I don't want to upgrade my PCT skills? Like, you want more work for me to do for a little bit money? Like, no.
Like, I have a million things I have to do. I'm not doing more.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm tired.
So why did you end up leaving your CNA career?
I left my CNA career because I was burnt out. Burnt out to the ground, girl. I really was. I was really feeling like the universe and just things were just preventing me to be at the hospital that I was working at. And I just felt the weight of just short-staffed, not feeling appreciated, feeling burnt out, feeling like the heaviness of it all, not being able to spend time with my kids. Hurricane season was right around the corner. I already knew that. Like, I have a autoimmune son. So COVID was, I was already risking so much being in such a sick environment. And to tell me that I can bring my kids with me, like, absolutely not. Like, there's no way I'm allowing my kids to sleep on this floor with all these families and sick people. Like,
Yeah.
that's mind-blowing to me that that's even something that you would even consider, right?
Yeah.
So I just got absolutely tired. And then when things like with my car, because I lived in like an hour away and I had to commute, I was falling asleep driving. I wasn't getting rest. I was still trying to find family time, me time, so I wasn't sleeping as much. I just got burnt out. So I was like, you know what? There's something that I need to do to change. So I started a cleaning business.
Yay.
6 months into before I left. So I was doing full-time at the hospital
Oh my God, with 3 kids.
with 3 kids and then my side business. So as soon as I got home and I just got dressed and was like, I'm going to just do one client a day. And it was ended up being part-time. And once I started building up the clientele and you just have that moment that you're just like, it's enough.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
I just can't do it no more. And I remember that day. I remember October 26th. I was like, I am done. I have nothing else I can give to you here. And I left in the same way. Like, I just want you to know, this takes so much fearlessness, boldness, courage,
Thank you.
confidence to do exactly what you're doing right now.
Thank you.
And I think that people get so caught up on college and degree, and people don't realize, like, the world we live in, there's access to so much out there. Like, not to put digits out there and numbers out there, but I'm a present mom.
Yeah.
I went from not dropping off my kids to dropping off my kids and picking up my kids, from doing dinner, from having, like, I'm a present mom, a single mom, to making way more money than I was as a CNA. Like, and I'm so much more happier and I don't have a degree. Versus people like living in fear and comfortability of staying somewhere for 20 years or more. And it's like, there's so much to life. There's so much to potential.
Absolutely.
And fear holds us back. The unknown holds us back, even though we're cringing inside. We're full of anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I'm so proud of you. It takes
Thank you.
true ambition and like a vision to just chase more than just Mia as a nurse. It's like, there's so much more to you.
Thank
and
you.
I believe that this is going to share so much light, because this is a resource to people to really understand, like, is this something I want to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. I didn't do research. I was like, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a CNA because I want to care and because I need money. But it's like, there's so much more deeper
Absolutely.
that we need to check our heart posture before we choose to say, I want to be a CNA, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor. What is your reason? Because if it's money, if it's greed, you're not coming from the right place. Your heart has to be serving. Your heart has to be loving and kind and selfless. And it's unfortunate that the healthcare field has allowed the darkness
the coldness, the overwhelmness to consume them. And I think that's the issue. I show them grace because I understand that what we deal with, well, I don't any longer, but as nurses and doctors, like I give them the grace. You guys deal with absolutely like a lot. And to come home and, go to work, put the personal away, and then to come personal and tuck the work away. It's a hard role to play, and it's not easy. So.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
I put my hat to you.
I put my hat to you too. So tell them about your business. I want to share it.
Oh, so I'm actually opening up 3 businesses. So I have a cleaning business, but what I realized working in a healthcare field is, as a single mom, healthcare is just not realistic. If you do not have a support system, whether it's grandparents or partner, whatever, it is so hard and so unrealistic to work a 14-hour shift and be a present parent, right? So I started my cleaning business, and my dream right now is I've been trying to get I've been putting in some bids, got some bids kind of working up. I declined some bids because the main thing is to be able to have companies that work around mommy hours. And even we're at a point where we're kind of like rotating kids.
Oh, I love that.
Where they can come work the businesses for me. Maybe I can watch them or hire people to watch them for them. So right now it's more than just a cleaning. I'm there to serve like my clients the same way I serve my patients, with love, respect. I ask if there's anything I can pray for them about before I leave. I'm very intentional when I clean their home or things. I still kind of have like the little disinfecting kind of traits, right? That I brought home with me, making sure rags are different and being intentional to door handles and just like things and placements for them. So I definitely took on those skills, but that I have that going on right now, and I'm super excited about that, and I've just been praying about that. I'm also opening up a Christian clothing line. Yes. Ooh. Yeah. I'm also like, I'm being open to like, not just like Christian things, but definitely is Christian like base for the most part. And then I am doing like certificates in like life coaching, relationship, parenting, and I'm going on faith-based coaching. And then once I get that coaching kind of going, my clothing line kind of going, got my my cleaning business is kind of going, I really would then want to focus on going to school for psychology and biblical school so that I'm able to counsel people and be a therapist for believers and not believers in whatever way that they form. So I want to have things set in stone for me while I'm going to school, because being a single parent, if you're going to school, you need income. And I am a mom to 3 and my boys are growing, and I also want to set futures for them. So for me, it's not a race.
Yeah.
My life is not a race. I'm really present in my day. I literally take my days as I come. Like I came here and I prayed, and I'm like, oh Lord, like whatever it is for today, like like this moment is very intentional. Yeah. Because I can drive home and anything can happen, you know? And I think people need to live more intentional.
Oh, absolutely.
People need to live more with like love and light in their heart. Like I get emotional when I think about the darkness in the world, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Especially right now.
Yeah. So my dream is basically just to be a light, to serve people, to have my garden, to have a farm, to give out free food for people, to help single moms, to put God's word out there, because Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. I don't care what no one says. I would not be the woman I am without him. He has shed so much light into my life. And to just I want to be able to die and people say, I knew Lysandra had a loving heart. Not about what career I had, not about my house or anything like physical. That's all gonna fade away. But what about your heart? What about your soul? Absolutely. Are you at peace? Yeah. Right?
Most people are not.
No. You're angry. You're snapping. Like, surrender it. Like, come to peace with it. Know that God's working out everything for the good. Like, if people just knew in a healthcare field that we're fighting more than the physical, like we're also fighting the spiritual and putting on the armor and praying and trying to really be the light in the world, right? To carry ourselves with love, because love is gentle, it's kind, it's patient, right? It's good. And a lot of people lose sight
of that, of what love is. They think it's all about receiving. And it's like, no, it's not. It's so
The opposite.
selfless.
Yeah.
It's so selfless,
it
right?
is.
So, yes, I think that people need to check their heart posture, definitely.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. Always. Like when I'm filled with worry and anxiety, I'm like, I need to check my heart posture right now.
Yeah.
You know, because we allow those things, we come in agreement with those things and we allow it to echo in our life. And we don't realize how much it hinders us to feeling like we start putting the labels like anxiety, depression, like it's so normalized. And
It
it's
is.
like, no, I don't come into agreement with that. Even when I was like, oh, I'm a single mom, I'm broke. I do not come into agreement with that.
I don't agree.
Even if my bank account right now says this,
I got $5, but I do not agree.
right? Like no,
literally,
like the blessing is right around the corner. You just got to be like persevere. Like I heard your story about, everything that was going on and you just kept persevering. Like that's fruit.
Yeah.
That's fruit that branches from you, and you should take like incredible honor.
Oh,
like, like you had the strength to keep, because being an entrepreneur is not easy.
No.
And that's why people want this consistent income, right? But it's so much enjoyable when you see what you can do.
It is.
And when you can learn.
And when you say, okay, I can be ordinary, but I don't want to be.
Yes. And not only that, I can do hard things.
Yeah. I can show up and do hard things.
Right.
And it might hurt. I might cry, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
That was beautiful. You're such a good speaker. You do it so well.
Thank you.
Finally, if someone were to say to you, I'm thinking about becoming a CNA, what would you say?
Oh, you already know. You got to examine your heart.
Yep.
You got to check your heart posture. You have to see if you have a serving heart. You have to see if you have a loving heart, a selfless heart, and the reasons why. If it's for money, please don't.
Because there's not much money.
Out there unless you're traveling and missing out on your family and living in uncomfortable places and not having a home or having friends, like just chasing the money. There's so much memories and so much beauty out there in the world. So I would definitely say check your heart posture and ask yourself the reasons why you want to do it. Being a caring person, being a selfless person, yes. But what happens when someone's not kind to you? What happens if someone's ready to... I got bitten.
Yeah, I got punched, bitten, and kicked.
Yeah.
From one patient. One time. That was one time we're talking about.
But you really have to ask yourself, am I going to treat this person with love and kindness?
Do I have the capacity to do so?
Yes.
Because you know in your heart if you do or don't.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, check your heart posture.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for coming. This was amazing. I loved hearing the CNA point of view.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And you're so positive. I remember you exactly this way.
Yeah, oh, I love that. And this is what you're doing is going to play such an amazing role, because when I say check your heart posture, right?
Yeah.
When I say examine, also do your research. Like this is a platform for all angles. Like I can get so much insight in and out, positive and good from your broadcast. So the Lord is going to bless it. I'm telling
thank
you.
you.
You're doing amazing things, and keep going.
Thank you.
Do not let the enemy have a seat at your table.
Thank you. I will
Don't.
not.
No.
Just people like you.
Yes.
That's it. That's
yes,
the only one invited. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye.